What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, checking out Yasaku's really new cool Synchro boss monster that just got revealed in Savage Strike. Yes, you heard me correctly. I did say a Synchro boss monster. If you don't know by now, maybe you missed yesterday's video on Savage Borlo Dragon. Looks like Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns is temporarily focusing on Synchro summoning, which is really cool. Revolver is going to be busting out some Synchros, and this really does look like it is going to be a Synchro set. You know, TG, Tech Genesis are getting support in here. That's a Synchro-based archetype. Also, Shiranui are getting support. That's another Synchro archetype. And I love the direction that Konami is going, because I said at the beginning of this era of Reigns, I said that it would be likely Konami would kind of make this era very similar to Zexal. And if you guys remember during Zexal, man, it's almost like they forgot that Fusion and Synchro even existed. Pretty much everything we got was Xyz. But if you look at Reigns, you know, Cybernetic Horizon was a ritual set, and, you know, Soul Fusion was a fusion set. Now we got a Synchro set, and I'm definitely liking that for the fans of those mechanics. So let's go ahead and check out the Cyber's Quantum Dragon. It's actually a pretty good utility card, and I like the fact that these new Synchro boss monsters seem to all be generic. I'm loving that. Level 7 Dark Cyber Synchro monster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Is that Stardust Dragon? I feel like that's Stardust Dragon, right? Like 2500 attack, 2000. I feel like that's Stardust Dragon. Anyways, as I said earlier, it is completely generic. It just requires one tuner plus one or more non-tuner monsters. Making a level 7 Synchro is relatively easy, so I think that a lot of decks will be able to do that. First effect says if you control a Link monster, your opponent cannot target monsters you control for attacks or card effects except this one. When I saw that, I was like, okay, it's acceptable. It's not, you know, overly powerful. However, the fact that your opponent cannot attack monsters except this one is actually much more important because of the second effect. I don't think that the protection from target, well, actually, that might be kind of important too, protecting all your other monsters. Like if you have another boss monster on the field, especially if it's not a Link, that could be kind of important. But the second effect is really what kind of makes this card, and it does work directly with the first effect. It says once per turn at the start of the damage step, when this card battles an opponent's monster, you can return that opponent's monster to the hand. Also, this card can make another attack in a row. That effect is absolutely magnificent. Essentially, this is like a one-sided Grand Mole, and this also doesn't say anything about just activating during your turn, which means obviously if you have a Link monster on the field and your opponent is forced to attack this, you can just go ahead and bounce their monster. And I like that because not only do you now have non-targeting removal, you know, if your opponent has something like really pesky, a Darkest Diablos or a Borlo Dragon, maybe something that can't be targeted, not only do you have a way of instantly outing that, but then this card can also swing again. That is definitely good. And again, I just like the fact that it works during both players' turns. So this is a monster that your opponent's probably never really going to attack unless they're just going to have to sacrifice their monsters. Like if they have two big boss monsters on the field and they know, okay, I gotta give up one of them just to get this damn Quantum Dragon off the field, I mean, that's fine. And really what I like most about the Quantum Dragon is the fact that it gives the level 7 Synchro pool some much needed non-targeting removal. There are some, you know, good removal cards in level 7 Synchro. There's like, you know, Psyframe Zeta, there's the Michael Lightsworn, also Arcanite Magician. A lot of those cards aren't exactly the easiest things to make. You make them in their archetypes, or, you know, you need like a specific type of monster to summon them. There's also the generic Black Rose Dragon. Problem is that card kind of nukes itself. This is one that you can kind of throw on the board. It can not only take out a monster by bouncing it, but then you can also attack over something. And then if you have a Link monster on your side of the field, then during your opponent's turn, it's also a threat because it can potentially, like, you know, just seize up their battle phase where they have to ram a monster into this and then kind of lose it. Or it gives protection for all your other monsters on the field. And with, you know, things like Destrudo running around, it's kind of easy to go into level 7 Synchro monsters. So what do you guys think about the Cyber's Quantum Dragon? I think it's a very good and healthy design card, and I'm going to say my prediction is probably going to be an ultra rare. Considering that Savage Borlo Dragon is the cover card, I think Konami will give that the secret rare, so I think that ultra rare makes the most sense for this card. But whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.